I'm at this bland, beige diner that smells like burnt coffee and repressed rage when I see her. Her name was Brenda. Brenda was about 52, wore a live, laugh, love necklace, and had a haircut that looked like it was designed by a blind barber during an earthquake. But Brenda had a secret. She wasn't just a housewife. Brenda claimed she was a disciple of the streets. She told the entire diner, and me, unfortunately, that she was an honorary member of a gang from East LA. I don't know how she managed this. Maybe she watched once and decided that her life in cornfields was too boring. She started talking in this accent that sounded like a cartoon character having a stroke. Yo, homie, I'm out here representing. I got a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt. I just sat there, staring at her with the kind of boredom usually reserved for watching paint dry on a wall in a mental asylum. I looked at her tattoos, which were clearly Sharpie drawings of teardrops and a bandana. And I realized I was in the presence of a true psychopath. Not the dangerous kind, but the kind that thinks urban means wearing a pair of oversized sneakers to a PTA meeting. Brenda noticed me watching and decided I was the perfect audience for her street cred. She slid into the booth next to me, leaning in with this look of intense, fake menace. You don't know who you're dealing with, baby, she whispered, her voice cracking like a dry wafer. I've run sets in the 310. I've seen things that would make your blood run cold. I'm a real one. I looked at her. I looked at her beige cardigan. I looked at the little floral purse she was clutching like it contained the secret to eternal life. And then I did what I do best. I played along. Wait, I said, sounding genuinely impressed. You're a disciple? Which set? Who do you run with? Brenda's eyes lit up. She thought she'd finally found someone who spoke her language. She started rambling about some fake crew she'd made up called the Corn Hustlers, claiming she handled the distribution for the entire county. Distribution of what? Gluten-free muffins? As she was mid-sentence, bragging about how she held it down on the block, which in Iowa is just a very long driveway, I leaned in and said, "That's amazing, Brenda, truly. I actually know a guy in LA who handles the real business. He's looking for new recruits in the Midwest. He said, if you're a real disciple, you have to prove it." She gasped. She was practically vibrating with excitement. How? Tell me how! I looked her dead in the eye, my voice as cold as a morgue slab, and said, he wants you to go to the center of the town square, strip naked, and scream, "I am a fraudulent piece of shit," until the police arrive to arrest you for public indecency. It's the only way to show you've abandoned your bourgeois white privilege for the street life. For a split second, I actually saw it. The desperation to be other than a boring lady from Iowa was so strong that she actually considered it. She looked at the door, then back at me, her face twisted in a mix of hope and stupidity. Then she blinked, and the gangster vanished. She looked at me with this confused, wounded expression and asked, Is that how it really works? I didn't even let her finish the question. I just sighed and told her, "Shut the fuck up, Brenda. You're not a gangster. You're a middle-aged woman with a hobby and a very sad marriage. No. But go back to your lukewarm coffee before I tell the manager you're harassing the customers." She left the diner in tears, probably to go home and represent her set by folding laundry. It was the most satisfying 10 seconds of my day, because there is nothing funnier than a person who tries so hard to be dangerous when they are actually as threatening as a wet marshmallow. Are you surprised? Did you find that edgy enough for you? Now shut up and go find some personality of your own, because right now, you're just a void where a human being should be.